It's a very interesting day here in England. It feels like autumn is in the air. And the big question is today, how many cars, lorries, buses and tractors will go behind me whilst I'm doing my live stream? All that revealed in a moment. We are back together. It is English Addict Extra for this Wednesday afternoon. Beep, 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 doo, doo, doo. We are back together again. It's very nice to see you. Hello there. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. That's me, by the way. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling happy today. I'm not too bad. I have to say right now, I'm not too bad. I was feeling a little unwell last week. I can let you in on a secret. I was feeling unwell last week. In fact, I went to the doctors. I did. I went to the doctors. I was feeling so under the weather. I went to the doctors. I did. I haven't done it for a long time. I haven't been to the doctors or to anybody connected with medicine, to be honest. Nobody for a long time. And today I suppose we can talk about that for a while, things that you haven't done for a long time. So I haven't been to the doctors for a very long time. So I went at the end of last week to go and see the doctor. You will be pleased to hear I'm okay. So that's always good news, I think. That means I'm not going anywhere. That means I won't be spending time in bed recuperating. Oh, now there is a good word. To recuperate is to get well, to recover. You recuperate. Quite often it involves a period of rest and relaxation. So when you recuperate, it means you are regaining your energy, normally during a period of rest and recovery. So I was recuperating. I feel okay today, not too bad at all. I have a lovely background. This, by the way, is the view outside the window right now. It really does look as if autumn is in the air. I hope you're feeling good today as well. Yes. Now, this is something I haven't done for a long time. I haven't done this for a very long time. Today, it's Wednesday. I haven't done that for a long time, I have to say, and it feels really, really nice doing it again. Yes, it is Wednesday. I hope you are having a good day where you are. I'm having a good day. Not too bad, thank you very much. It's just me today, by the way. No one else, although you, of course, are more than welcome to join in on the live chat if there's something you want to say, something on your mind, something you want to share with all of us here, because we are one big happy family. Happy for most of the time. Anyway, hello live chat. I should say hello to you as well. Vitas and Beatrice, you were first today. Congratulations to you. Very nice. Also, we have Mustafa, Zudzika. We also have, Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you as well. Yeeneen is watching in chilly. Is it chilly at the moment in Chile? It's quite chilly here. So when I say chilly here, I mean cold. But of course, you are in a place called Chile, which is also spelt differently as well. Hello to you. Nice to see you back as well today. Don't forget to give me a like, please. These are very important. They might seem like something that is not very important, but to me, this is very important. So please give me a lovely like if you like what you are seeing right now. Algeria is here as well. Hadiat, hello to you as well. Thank you for joining me today. So is there something you haven't done for a long time? It can be anything really. Maybe you haven't seen a member of your family for a long time. Maybe you haven't done a certain task or a certain thing. So what thing haven't you done for a long time? I will share some of mine with you if you share yours with me. Something you haven't done for a long time. One thing I can think of straight away, I haven't cried for a long time. It's not something I do very often. I don't often cry. I know it sounds strange, and maybe to some people you might think, Mr. Duncan, you have a heart of stone. But I do cry sometimes, maybe a sad movie, maybe if something touches me, moves me. You can be moved to tears. Something makes you feel upset, or maybe you feel something deep inside, and it will trigger a certain emotion. So I haven't cried for a very long time, and I have to say I do like sometimes sharing these things with you. Even when my mum passed away, and as you know, she passed away earlier this year, so even when I lost my mum, I didn't cry. Now this might seem like a very strange thing to admit to, but I didn't. And it wasn't because I didn't feel upset, because I did. But it was a very strange sensation of feeling upset. So it wasn't sadness. It was much deeper than that. It was a feeling that went much deeper. And because of that, I couldn't express it. I could feel it, but I couldn't express it. So I haven't cried for a very long time, I have to say. I have to admit. One thing I do quite often is laugh, of course. I can remember the last time I laughed. That was this morning with Mr. Steve. We do it quite often, actually. We often do things that make each other laugh. I suppose that is the secret of a long relationship, maybe, making each other laugh. So is there something you haven't done for a long time? Bamboo. Oh, bamboo. I know what you're talking about, and it's very naughty, but it also happens to be something you haven't done for a long time. Maybe it was the trauma that Mr. Duncan suffered. Yes, well, as I said earlier, I haven't cried for a long time. It's one of those strange things I haven't done, and I don't know why. Is there a certain type of food I haven't eaten for a long time? I'm just trying to think. Oh, yes, there is a certain type of food I haven't eaten for a very long time, a certain meal. And it's one of my favourite meals, but I haven't had it for a very long time. I wonder if you can guess what it is. It is something I love eating, but I haven't had it for a long time. I wonder if you can guess what it is. Thank you, Bamboo, for your addition to my live chat. Yes, I do know what you mean. Something you haven't done for a long time. There might be a place that you've never visited, or maybe a place you haven't been to for a very long time. This is something I often find when you live in a certain area or a certain place. You might find that there are many things around you, many wonderful places that you can visit, but you never go to them, or you never visit them. For example, outside my window there is a beautiful hill, a wonderful hill, and it's beautiful. It stands out. It is very, very well known in this area. However, I rarely go up it. I rarely go to the top of that particular hill. So there are instances or times when maybe you don't do something for a long time. Of course, there are some things that you must do regularly that you might not do all the time. I haven't been for a swim. Yianni Haddad. I haven't had a swim in a pool for a long time. Some people have swimming pools. I don't, by the way. I don't have a swimming pool. Mr. Steve's sister has a swimming pool. Very nice. Oh, fancy pants. Very nice. But I don't have a swimming pool, which doesn't matter because I can't swim. So I have no need for a swimming pool, to be honest, because I don't swim. I haven't had chocolate cake for a long time. You have to be very careful with sugar. Yes, I suppose so. If you do have to be careful if you are eating certain types of food. I'm waiting for some results from my doctor, and I'm sure he is going to tell me that I've been eating too much sugar and maybe too many things full of fat, perhaps. You know me. There are certain types of food I can't resist. By the way, the meal that I haven't had for a long time is lasagna. It is an Italian food, an Italian meal made with pasta, and I think it's beef. I think you can have lamb as well. Lamb lasagna, beef lasagna. Delicious, absolutely lovely. But I have to say, I haven't had it for a long time. One of the reasons, of course, is we used to visit Mr. Steve's mother quite often, but since she passed away, we don't go there. We don't go over to Banbury anymore, or we don't go very regularly anyway. I haven't. I'm just trying to find one I can read. Very interesting. Some very interesting messages coming through today. Thank you very much. Something you haven't done for a long time. By the way, talking of swimming pools, if you live in Greece, now if I remember, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, or perhaps longer than that, didn't Greece tax people? They actually charged them for having a swimming pool, if I remember correctly. Did that happen? Did that really happen? So if somebody lives in Greece, can you tell me, did your government tax those who had swimming pools? Please let me know. I haven't been practicing my swimming. I need to renew my membership. Well, I have to say, I don't have to worry about that. I can't remember the last time I went in the water. I can't remember it. It must be a very long time ago. So that could be a thing I haven't done for a long time. I haven't been in a swimming pool or in the sea or in any deep water that comes up to here. Of course, I've been in the shower. That's okay. That's fine. I don't mind that. But anything deeper, anything that comes up to here, I normally get a little bit afraid, to be honest. So what things haven't you done for a long time? Something that you haven't done for ages. I like that. Something you haven't done for ages. Now that is another way of expressing something you haven't done for a long time. I haven't been to the cinema for a long time. So there is another thing I haven't done for a long time. One of the reasons is, of course, there's nothing that I want to see at the cinema. Most movies nowadays are not that interesting to me. Maybe they are to you, but not to me, unfortunately. Also, I don't go to the cinema because I can't stand the sound of other people around me eating and making noises and looking at their smartphones, to be honest. I don't like that either. Have you ever been underwater? You mean me underwater swimming? Never. Never, never, never. I don't like water. I don't like going too close to water. I always feel nervous when I'm near water, or if I'm in a boat. I feel nervous because I think that the boat might tip over. It might go over and I will be thrown into the water. So no, Lewis, I've never been under the water. Mr. Steve can do it. I'm very jealous because Steve can swim underwater. He's actually very good at it. Going to the cinema is very expensive now. Yes, you are right there as well. It is an expensive thing to go to the cinema. I think now, if you go to the cinema here, I think it's around 15 or 16 pounds. So nearly £20 to go and see a movie. That to me seems expensive, to be honest. Giovanni is here. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I'm a bit tired after work, but now I am here, my friend, and my other English addict friends as well. Yes, that's the reason why we're here, to share our love of English, to talk about different topics, and to hopefully have fun as well, because learning should always be fun. By the way, today we are looking at a part of English that sometimes causes confusion. We are talking about irregular nouns, plurals. So plurals, when we talk about plural, we mean more than one. So we are talking about that a little bit later on. Something you haven't done for a long time. Beatrice says, I love swimming, but I can't get membership because I'm travelling very frequently. So I have to pay and lose money many times. Well, this happens with many people who do something or they start something, but they don't continue doing it. So for you, Beatrice, the reason why you don't go swimming often is because you travel around. However, there are other things that you might start. Generally, you might start and not continue. One of the most common ones has to be going to the gym. So a lot of people normally at the start of the year, so normally when the new year arrives, people will go to the gym. They will join a gym to get fit and healthy, but quite often they won't continue doing it. They will stop after a certain period of time. So it does happen where you might start doing something, but you don't continue it. You actually stop doing it, or maybe you forget to do it. Maybe you become tired of doing it. Maybe you become bored doing it. So there are many reasons why you might stop doing something as well. You might find that you don't want to go for a run anymore because you become tired too easily. So many reasons why we stop doing things, I suppose. Many reasons why. Chores. Oh. Palmyra is busy with her chores, according to Lewis. Lewis says, I think Palmyra must be busy with her chores. You might be right there, Lewis. We will have to see. Maybe Palmyra will answer the question. Something I haven't done for a long time. Here is something I haven't showed for a long time. In a moment, we are going to look at nouns, irregular forms of plural nouns. That is what we are looking at today. But first of all, we will look at something that I haven't shown for a long time. Yes, it's time to say hello to the cows. English Addict is here today. It's nice to be with you as usual. It's always nice to be here, to be honest. I have to say, I love doing this and I hope you like what I do for you. Today we are looking at an interesting subject. Now, as you know, I am a big believer in teaching things that are useful or things that are useful to know or understand. One of the biggest mistakes that teachers often make is they overteach. Now, I know that probably sounds really weird, but it isn't. A lot of teachers who have maybe been to teach a college for many years and maybe they feel as if they want to get out there and teach all the things they know to their students. Sometimes it is possible to overteach. Maybe you make certain subjects or the subject you are teaching too difficult or too hard to understand. And I think this does happen quite often, especially with young teachers. Now, this is not a criticism, but sometimes young teachers do want to show all of their knowledge to their students. I remember many years ago when I was interviewing some teachers who wanted to work for us during my time in China, I did notice that lots of teachers who were giving demonstration lessons to us, they always like to over-explain things. They like to make things very technical and very difficult because they can show their own knowledge to their students. But I think it is possible sometimes to over-teach. You can teach too much. You can make something seem too complicated or too complex. And I think this is a common mistake for some of The teachers that are starting out, maybe they are starting out on their journey of teaching. But I like to try and explain things simply, explain things in their most basic form. I think it was Einstein, wasn't it Einstein? Was it Einstein who said the best teachers are the ones who make complicated things seem easy? Maybe I'm misquoting that. I don't know. Palmyra says, sometimes or somewhere the sun is shining, but in my area the common guess is grey skies. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but at least I hope doing this today with me will brighten things up. Here we go then. Let's have a quick look at today's subject. And this is something that I wanted to do today because I think it's interesting. We talk about irregular plural nouns. Basically, in English, when we have more than one thing, we will often add s to the end. For example, cat becomes cats. So there are many cats. One cat, many cats. So that is regular. It is a plural that is regular. So there is nothing unusual. It is not exceptional. However, in English, we often have irregular plural nouns. So these are types of nouns. When used in a plural sense, they will actually change their whole structure, or a large part of their structure will change. And I will explain that in a moment. So it is possible to use irregular plural nouns. There are some nouns, of course, that don't change when you stress them in the plural sense. So that is also described as irregular. Something that is not as it usually is, or it should be, or something that appears different or unusual is irregular. We often think of regular as being standard. Irregular is not standard. It is something that is different or unusual. Giovanni is here. Hello, Giovanni. Thank you very much. Yes, we often add s to the end of a word when we want to show it as a plural. However, there are situations where this will not be the case, and I'm going to show you right now. So first of all, we have goose, goose, singular, one, a single item, a single thing, one goose. A goose, of course, is a type of bird. It is beautiful, especially when it's flying over the house with its friends in a big V shape. And they make that lovely sound, don't they? Oh, 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 oh. I love the sound of geese. Geese, oh yes, because when we have the plural of goose, it is geese. So as you can see, the spelling of the word has altered dramatically from goose to geese. So this is a good example of irregular plural nouns. You are changing the whole structure of the word, or at least a large part of it. So there is a good example of something that can be described singularly. In this situation, we are describing goose as one thing, and we are describing many geese. We often describe geese when there are many as a flock of geese. One goose, a flock of geese. There are many geese in the field. A flock of geese flew over my house this morning. Here's another one. This is just for Claudia. Tooth. Tooth. You can have one tooth. Maybe you have a loose tooth. Maybe in your mouth, one of your teeth is moving around. Yes, teeth. So when we talk about more than one tooth, we say teeth. One tooth, many teeth. We often describe teeth as a set. So you say set of teeth. So a group of teeth or a row of teeth is often described as a set. I have a full set of teeth. So we have one tooth and many teeth. And there is another good example. Here's another one. Man. Man. One man. One man sitting alone in a chair. He is by himself. He is on his own. One man. Then, of course, we have the plural. So it's not mans. It is instead, if I can find it, men. Men. One man, many men. And of course, woman is altered in the same way. Woman, women. So one woman, many women. Here's another one. Child. Child. One child. Maybe you have one child. Maybe you have only one child. Only one child turned up for school this morning. There was only one child in the classroom. Of course, when we have the irregular plural, children. So child becomes children. So you don't say childs, you say children. One child, many children. Here's another one. Foot. Foot. One foot. Two feet. So one foot becomes 2 feet. You have 1 foot. You are holding 1 foot up in the air. The other foot is on the floor. But then you lift both of your feet up and wave them around. Feet. 1 foot, 2 feet. Then we have, at this time of year, you will see, maybe as you're walking under the tree, you might see 1 leaf come down. It falls from the tree to the ground. 1 leaf. A leaf falls from the tree. You can see it falling. Of course, you might be walking along the ground and you might find there are many leaves on the ground. Leaves. 1 leaf, many leaves. Leaf. Leaves. So more than 1 leaf becomes leaves. You hold 2 leaves. There are many leaves on the ground, especially during autumn. Especially during autumn. Leaves. Here's another one. Are you afraid of this little animal? Mouse. 1 mouse. There might be 1 mouse living in your kitchen. Maybe sometimes you see it running across the floor from one side to the other. Mouse. Of course, you can also have one of these as well. This also is a mouse as well. One mouse becomes more than one mice. There are many mice. So we don't say mouses, we say mice. One mouse, many mice. There are mice living under my kitchen. There is a mouse living in my cupboard. So one mouse, many mice. It's also interesting to note that this also, I've heard people use this particular thing in its plural sense. So one computer mouse, many computer mice. I have heard that used, although I know it's not used very often, to be honest. It isn't used all the time. Here's another one. Oh, knife. Knife. This is an interesting word for many reasons because, of course, we also have the silent letter as well. We have the letter K, which is silent. K in knife. When we have the plural, of course, we add something to the end. Knives. Knives. So your knife becomes knives. Maybe if you are setting the table for your meal, you might have to put some knives on the table. One knife, many knives. Yes, there are some nouns that don't change. You are right. I will be looking at those in a moment. So don't worry, I haven't forgotten about those. Don't panic. Here's another one. Fungus. Ew. Ew. It is a type of, well, do you know that fungus is a very interesting thing? Because fungus is neither plant nor animal because of the way it behaves. Very strange, very interesting thing, fungus. Without fungus, life on Earth would be very hard indeed. It would. Fungus. It seems like a very simple thing when you see a mushroom in a forest, or maybe you see some mould growing on a tomato. Fungus is a very important thing. And of course, if you are using the plural, you say fungi. Fungi. And you might notice here I've actually made sure that the I is more apparent. So there it is, you see. Can you see it? The letter I. Fungi. Some people say I am a fun guy. A fun guy to be around. Isn't that lovely? Very nice. Do I have a Facebook account? You mean me? Do I have a Facebook account? Yes, I do. I do, thank you very much. I might put it on the screen in a moment. If you want to see it, yes, I'll put it there. Don't worry. If I can find it. So the plural of fungus is fungi. I will see if I can find my Facebook address. I will put it on the screen for you. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right. Now, so there is my Facebook address. And yes, you must use the capital letters there. So you must write it like this. So that is my Facebook page for those who are interested. It's been a long time since I've showed you my Facebook page. Or at least the address, anyway. Back to our list. Now, we do have some words, of course, that don't change. And this also makes them irregular. So quite often when we look at certain things, if there is one of them or many of them, the word remains the same. For example, and I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to say, sheep. There are many sheep living at the back of my house. So of course you can have one sheep or many sheep. We often say flock, a flock of sheep. So maybe there is one sheep walking around on its own, feeling lonely. Or maybe you have many sheep walking around in a field. So it is possible to do that. It is possible to have one sheep or many sheep. In that particular sense, the actual word will stay the same. So you have one sheep, you have many sheep. In this particular sense, it doesn't change at all. Thus, it becomes irregular. Fish. Now this is quite a technical one because there is more to remember when we talk about fish. First of all, when we look at fish, generally we look at one fish as being an individual, one fish. But the plural of fish is also fish. There are many fish in the ocean. There is one fish. There are fish to be caught in this river. There are many fish in this river. So we often use fish as an irregular plural noun. However, and this is the rule that a lot of people forget, we can also say fishes when we are talking about many different types of fish, many different species of fish. So when we are talking about more than one type of fish, we say fishes. I went to the market the other day. There were many fishes, a selection of fishes. That means there are many different types. So quite often when we are listing different types of fish, we often say fishes. It is possible to do that. It is possible to do that. Here's another one. Skin. Oh, we have skin all over our bodies. It is the largest organ in the human body because it covers all of us, really, all over. We are completely covered in skin. Skin can also be used as an irregular verb. Skin. So you don't say skins. Your skin is still skin. If it is a small piece of skin that you peel off your body, maybe you've been in the sun, maybe you've been sunbathing, you have a little piece of skin that you peel from your body because you've been in the sun for too long. Skin. However, if you have different types of skin, maybe you have different animal skins. So when you have different types of skin, maybe the animal that the skin comes from, or maybe the different pigmentation or colour, skins. So different skins can relate to different types of skin. So when we talk about one individual, we talk about their skin, but if we are comparing different types of skin, we can say skins. It is an interesting subject. People. One person. Many people. So we can say one person when we are talking about an individual. One person. One individual. One person standing on their own. However, when we talk about the plural or more than one, we say many people. Many people gathered to say goodbye to Mr. Duncan. Many people came to my birthday party. Or maybe, perhaps, only one person came to my birthday party. That has never happened, by the way. Well, okay, it may have happened a couple of times. So one person or many people. Many people, one person. So you can see quite often we will use plural in regular and irregular. One cat, cats. One sheep is still sheep. Unless, of course, you are talking about different species or different types of sheep, maybe. But that's not true. It only applies to fish, just in case you're wondering. Oh, yes, of course, Giovanni. On Wednesday, the live stream has one person. That's me. So one person is presenting on Wednesday, but on Sunday, there are two people presenting. So today, there is just me, one individual, one person. On Sunday, there will be two people. Two people. One person, two people. Thank you for your company today, by the way. It's nice to see you here, by the way. I know sometimes Wednesday can be difficult for some of you because of your own work or your own life. I know you have lots of things that you have to do, but the good news is there is good news. You can watch this live stream again as many times as you want. So if you want to look at this again and review my list of irregular plural nouns, you can. You are more than welcome to do so. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Isn't that nice? Lewis says, Mr. Duncan, I have seen persons as plural. Yes, you can use persons as plural, but in standard English you won't. You won't use persons, but you can use it. Person or persons, if you are talking about something that might be happening or a situation you're unsure of. So you might say, I heard a noise in my garden and I would like to find out the person or persons involved in that. So yes, you can use it, but generally speaking, you don't use it all the time. You wouldn't say there were many persons gathering outside Mr. Duncan's house. You would say there were many people. So quite often in a situation where you are maybe guessing or maybe you are unsure, you can say person, persons, unknown. I did not know. If there was one person there or many people, you can say person or persons. But in that situation, you can say it. But in most situations, you can't, you see. Thank you very much for your company today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, it's also worth remembering quite often when we are talking about possessive. That is a very different thing altogether. So there is a big difference between plural and possessive. Plural means more than one. Possessive means belonging to someone. So there is a big difference between those things. Anyway, it is coming up to 7 minutes away from 3 o'clock, and it's also time for me to say goodbye. I will see you very soon. Don't forget Mr. Steve with us next Sunday. Also, you might notice yesterday I have put an edited version of last Sunday's live stream on my YouTube channel. So you can watch a short version of Sunday's live stream where I'm talking all about one particular subject. And you can find that on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Dorothy. Thank you very much, Vitas. Thank you very much, Beatrice. Mustafa. Thank you very much for joining me today. It was a very interesting live stream. Thank you very much. Dorothy asks, news. Is news? Yes, well, news is the actual thing. You have news. So news is always expressed as plural. So you never say new if you are talking about information you are receiving, because you might be receiving lots of different types of information. So when you hear the news, you are finding out the things that are new. So it is a very interesting phrase, that one. When we say news, we are talking about all of the things that are happening right now. Maybe something you did not know, but now you do. You have the news. You know what is happening. Thank you very much for your company. Back on Sunday, don't forget, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you on Sunday. Don't forget. And I will be with you live on Sunday. I will leave you with some lovely views outside because the weather today is rather nice. It really does feel as if autumn is in the air, I have to say. So I'm going to show you a lovely view outside, and I will see you on Sunday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English, saying thank you for watching. See you later. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Give me a like, and I will give you a happy wave as I say, ta-ta for now. See you on Sunday.